What I'm trying to do is design a swing that's as easy as possible for you to repeat. And what I found from there is that getting this top of backswing position more neutral makes it so much easier to come down. What I see a lot is at the top of the backswing, the shaft gets below and in front of your hands, so kind of across the line and narrow. Steep early from there, always, meaning the butt of the club's inside the ball target line. Then you have to shallow the shaft out, so you stand up, early extend through the hit, and then we have contact issues. What I'd like to have happen is have the club head above and behind your hands. Hey guys, just want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, Municipal. You guys see me wearing the hats and the shirts in all of these videos. They've been a great partner for us, and I absolutely love all of the clothing, and really they're just getting better and better and better. They're dropping new gear all the time. Some of it's in limited quantity, so if you want to go check that out and you like it, make sure you grab that right away. They've got a new line of golf apparel coming out, but they don't have just the golf stuff. I'm also wearing the Municipal things really everywhere. I wear the shorts and t-shirts to the gym. The hoodies that they have are like the most comfortable thing, the hoodies and the sweatpants. So it's really stuff that I can wear and you can wear when you're going to play golf, but it's also casual. I mean, I could leave the golf course, be at home, go to the gym. Absolutely love the Municipal gear. If you haven't tried any of it before, grab a polo, grab a Municipal hat. You're gonna absolutely love their gear. We'll put the link in the description down below. The easiest way to shallow your downswing is by actually shallowing your backswing. Getting the club head above and behind your hands at the top makes it the easiest to shallow coming down. Now, let me show you what I mean by this. I've been giving a lot of online lessons at CogornoGolf.com with players who have the same sort of look. They send me messages and say, hey, I want to shallow my downswing. I want to get rid of my early extension. I want more shaft lean. I want more consistency, right? I'm working with a lot of players who shoot between 75 and 100, right? Play practice once or twice a week type of thing. So we see a lot of these same patterns. So at that level, shooting 75 to 100, playing once or twice a week, practicing once or twice a week type of thing, we probably can't get away with as many things as tour players can. What I'm trying to do is design a swing that's as easy as possible for you to repeat. And what I found from there is that getting this top of backswing position more neutral makes it so much easier to come down. What I see a lot is at the top of the backswing, the shaft gets below and in front of your hands, so kind of across the line and narrow, steep early from there, always, meaning the butt of the club's inside the ball target line. Then you have to shallow the shaft out, so you stand up, early extend through the hit, and then we have contact issues. What I'd like to have happen is have the club head above and behind your hands. So to give you a closer visual of this, here's my hands, right? There my hands are. I want the club head above and behind them at the top. So that's above and behind them. Now what I don't want is them in front of and across. When they're in front of or lower, so in front of and lower, is always going to want to be steep early. If I get the club head behind my hands, like you see with this Max Homa model, that would be the easiest to have them then just trace down underneath my shoulder, through my mid bicep, down my forearm, inside my hands, into the golf ball. That's the pattern that I want to see. So the easiest way would be to the top, club head's above and behind my hands, shaft comes underneath my shoulder, through mid bicep, through my forearm, inside my hands, inside my hands. Think about it this way. Let's use the term behind my hands. Every good checkpoint in the golf swing, the club head are behind the hands. Every good checkpoint in the golf swing, the club head is behind the hands. So if I look at an impact position, where do we want the club head to be? Behind or in front of my hands? Behind my hands. Here's my hands, there's the club head. When we go through delivery at last parallel, where do we want the club head to be? Here's my hands. Behind my hands or in front of my hands? Behind my hands. I want it to be behind my hands the whole time. So doesn't it serve to reason that if I went to the top and just had it behind my hands, then I have to do nothing. I'm already on plane. Imagine when I set up that I just draw a line up the shaft at setup. I need to get the club on that plane to hit the ball solid. So what I want to see is I want to see the club parallel to that by about left arm parallel. If I drew a line down this shaft and a line up the original shaft plane, they should be about parallel. Now, does that seem like it would be easier to do from here, like Max Homa? Boom, 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 I don't have to do much. Or if I got the club head below and in front of. This I have to do a lot of work to get back, and you can do it, right? I know teachers and players who like to club back there, and that works fine for them. This is just my suggestion for you based on my coaching and my experience playing, is that the players have a much easier time who can't practice every day, who can't hit hours and hours of golf balls, and are in that score range. It's much easier to get the club head behind. So how I've had a lot of success practicing this is with video behind you, going very slow and giving yourself feedback on every one. So if you have this pattern where you get the shaft steep and then you early extend, start by getting the club head behind your hands at the top, and then we can slowly get the shaft coming down. So like literally I'd have my phone on recording me or have live view on where I could see myself as I'm hitting, and I would look back at the camera and do 2 swings first where I get the club head behind my hands. How many times am I gonna say that? Underneath my shoulder, through my forearm, inside my hands, hit. Like literally that speed. Behind my hands, now I got nothing to do, it's already gonna shallow by itself, hit. And then I would hit a ball at that same pace that I did the rehearsal. So I'm gonna feel like the club head's behind my hands, shallow, and through, and I'm gonna hit a ball. And then let's just say you're on your phone, I would walk back and check the video and check, okay, when I went up to the top, was the club head behind my hands? Did it shallow by itself? Inside my forearm, inside my hands. And then how much do I need to exaggerate that? And literally start at that pace. I hit that 22 yards with a 7-iron, okay? That's how you should be starting your swing changes and your feels. If I can't do it at that pace, the odds of me going full swing are not gonna happen. I've got so many good players doing this before and afters of this working so good. You have to go slow. The slower you go in the beginning, the faster you're gonna get better. Club head behind your hands, preset shallow, swing through. Club head behind your hands, through. And I'm looking to see the shaft under my shoulder, through my forearm, inside my hands when I'm looking at it. So same slow motion. Now I just went a little bit faster. So I hit 22 on the first one. That one I hit 38 yards. So if I look at the video and it looks correct, meaning this top is behind my hands, it's shallow, parallel to the original plane line, down my forearm, inside my hands, and right on plane, I'm gonna slowly add speed to this and hit it a little bit farther, a little bit farther, a little bit farther until it breaks down, and that's where I got to. I'm gonna keep doing a technique in the gym with the bar and adding weight until my technique breaks down. I can't do my reps. That's where I'm at. Speed with your swing is like weight on the bar in the gym. It works the same exact way. I don't go in and you're not gonna do the heaviest weight first, right? You gotta warm your way up. So that was 38 yards. I would do my 2 rehearsals, and slowly you're gonna start to get a feel for this. And you can go a little bit faster. Now, I would actually clip the ground there. I wouldn't do what I just did. Club head behind the hands, looking at it on video, underneath, clip the ground, 2 rehearsals, same hit. Same feel here with the hit. So let's see, I'll go a little bit faster than the 38. And that's not easy to do in the beginning, but that's what that should train out, 44. And I would do 20 to 30 reps per session, and it's much more about the frequency, as many days in a row as I could do that. Now, that's the big picture. I would keep it that simple. Most everyone I work with, when I give them that objective of getting the club head behind the hands, they work out the in-between stuff. They work out the details. Where should my right arm be? Where should my left arm be? How does the rotation work? Like all that sort of stuff. So I would keep it as simple as possible, but if you run into some issues, there's some things that are gonna affect this that I just wanna do quickly here with you. The arm plane pieces, right? So when you go back, the more your right arm flies away from you in internal rotation, that would be like this way, the more the club's gonna wanna go across the line. The more your arm gives an external rotation, that'd be like you're losing a arm wrestle. That would be easier to have the club head behind your hands. So internal rotation would go across, external rotation would be behind your hands. That's a piece to look at like this. The amount your arm lifts would be a piece to look at. The lower your arm is, the easier it'll be to have the club head behind your hands. The higher it is, typically it's want to go more across. And then you're looking at arm rotation. So with your lead arm, the more pronation you have, the more the club head will be behind your hands. That just means your logo is up towards the sky, palm down towards the ground. The more supination you have, the more it would be across the line. So that'd be like palm up, left hand, back of the hand down. So pronation with the lead arm gets it behind your hands. Supination gets it across. For your right arm, supination gets it behind your hands. That'd be like palm up. Pronation, palm down, we get it across the line. okay? Now, you don't need to think about or know any of that if you just get your hands behind, but if you're getting stuck, those would be the pieces that you're looking at. You could even throw a glove or an object like underneath your right armpit. If you have that flying right arm, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to have something underneath there to keep that more connected, and then feel that club head behind your hands. Go slow and work your way up, and I bet you're gonna start to see the shaft coming down shallow, not being steep, and once the shaft's coming down shallow, now your brain has all the motivation in the world to do all the pieces we want through the hip. The inclination to the ground pieces, good rotation, no early extension. But if your shaft's always coming down steep, you always have to fix that. Your hips are gonna kick in, your head comes off the wall, the handle's gonna go too high. So it starts with getting the shaft plane. Obviously you have to have the face square enough, but it starts with getting that top of backswing. So record yourself from down the line, slowly be looking at that, start extremely slow, and then add up the speed. And by getting that, A, it's the easiest way to shallow your downswing, and B, it's gonna make it so much easier to get all of the other pieces through the hit. Now, if you're struggling with this piece, downswing, shaft plane, early extension, etc., take advantage of the free 14-day trial at CogornoGolf.com to the coaching. I'm gonna personally analyze those videos you send, and I'm gonna personally detail, hey, you need to prioritize this and this. These are the drills we gotta do. These are the reps. This is how many days per week to do. This is what to expect. This is when to move on to part 2. Like, I'm gonna guide you through that whole process, and you get to try it absolutely risk-free. Right? So if you don't like it or it doesn't work for whatever reason, you don't pay anything, right? So there's absolutely no risk for you to do it. And I do that because I know I can really help all of you. I know I can help you get these pieces, hit the ball better, play better, and not go through the frustration of not knowing what to do or not being able to implement it. So we're going to put in CogornoGolf.com down below. Give this a try. Make sure you use video. If you have any questions about anything, leave a comment down below.